bike park twice a week. All right, I might be 0 for 2 on trying to find a quicker way that at least I like of getting myself set up for most of my back movements. I have the Versa grips um, that I heard from Mike Isratel, and I got to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it's just the fact that you got to strap it on your wrist. It's just uncomfortable. I don't like it. But I've never really trained. Like I know a lot of people in the gym train with wrist straps to help support their wrists and everything. I've never done that, so I'm just one. I'm not really used to it, and therefore I just don't really like it. I've done one little feel out set. I mean, wasn't even a set. I just did 3 or 4 reps, nothing close to failure, and I'm just not. I don't know, man. I'm gonna give it a fair run, just like I did the Jim Reaper hooks. I don't even know what you really call them, but yeah, those things are already. I threw those things to the side. I'm probably gonna sell them. I did not like those at all, but I don't know. I mean, the setup it didn't really save me that much time. Now again, maybe that's because I never really used them. Maybe if I get a couple sets and I kind of figure out the quickest way to get them on there, maybe it'll save me a little. But honestly, I would not be surprised if I see myself going back to the old school straps. You know, um, I don't know, call me simplistic, I guess, but I just like those. I like them. Now these could change my mind. Like I said, I'm gonna give them a good little run. At least try to do all the sets here with them. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna make any promises. These were only like 20 something dollars, so if I don't like them, whatever. Again, I'll have some backups because my straps, one of them, I hope the other one's in here. I can't even see it, but one of them is starting to rip, so they don't, they don't have much time left. I don't think. But anyways, we're gonna. Normally, I would start with bent over rows, going pretty heavy on this back day, but they're starting to get to me. I've done that like a month straight every Sunday, and my lower back is starting to get stiff. Is the best way to say it. So I'm gonna do kind of the inverse or the completely backwards, I guess. I'm gonna start with some heavy lat pull downs, and then maybe I'll throw something else in. What that'll be, I have no clue. Then I'll finish with some, if I can, as long as it's not taken. I'll finish with some bent over rows, not quite as heavy. Focus on just the control and really getting some good reps in. So this probably is not going to be the working weight for most of the sets because it honestly felt pretty light. But just for one set, I think it'll be nice to kind of get me going because I am still, to be honest with you, I'm still kind of sleepy. Pre-workout has not done a thing for me. So this would be a nice little set to kind of just get me started, I think. Yeah, I mean, these are, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, see, it's taking me just as long to get these set up as it does the straps. Maybe I'm just a little slow. I don't know. All right, fuck it. Let's try that. It still doesn't feel the best. Ah, come on. Okay, after one set, I just don't know. I feel like I learned nothing. So until I really figure something out, or I get to that point that I'm like, okay, I know for sure now, you know, I either like them or don't. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll do three more regular sets like that, and a drop set. I'll probably add a little bit more weight. Nothing crazy though. So we do like three more, and hopefully, hopefully I figure something out with these because it's a weird thing. It's like, I said I wasn't gonna say nothing else, but it's like on one hand I kind of like them, but on the other I don't. I don't know. It's maybe it's just the fact that I'm not used to them. Again, like I said, maybe if I could use them more, get a little more familiar and comfortable, maybe I'll have a different opinion. But that's why I'm gonna keep trying them. So let's do like three more here. Okay, that was better. Um, the thing I'm finding maybe the most amount of struggle with is that for whatever reason these straps, the old ones that I used to use, whenever I got them tightened and in place where I wanted them, there was hardly any give. You know, they were locked in. These, when I get them in there, maybe it's this. I think it's the wrist strap portion starts to slide down just like those hooks used to do. Now it's not as impactful. It's not as it doesn't affect me as much or as negatively as the hooks did. But I feel it in my so I'm supinated and my fingers and almost start to turn and loosen. So rather than being fully supinated, it's like it gives me this weird, not fully supinated effect. It's I don't know. I don't. I'm sure there's something I'm doing wrong probably, but I mean I got them tightened, and then the other thing is it's cutting off my circulation. Matter of fact, I need to loosen a little bit, so I don't like that either. Now the other ones did that too, but not to the effect that these are. So, but again, let me say this. Just comparing these to the Jim Reaper hooks that I used to have. I mean, I prefer these by a long shot. Now they're still not on the level of my old school lifting straps, but they're good enough that I want to keep trying them and see if I can find that sweet spot for me. Not that it really matters. I mean, worst case scenario, if these don't work out, it's a wasted 20 something dollars, but whatever. I want to use whatever works the best for me, on my back workouts, whether it's these or whether it's just the old school lifting straps, like I keep saying. So I'm gonna keep trying these. What I got? Two more sets left. Two more. Um, see if I can make it a little better. It's not terrible, but it's not. It's just not there yet. And whether it gets there, and by there I mean to the point that I'm like, yeah, these are awesome. You know, to be determined. So we'll see. Let's do a couple more. Okay, I got a pretty gnarly forearm pump, almost to the point that it's overshadowing. Let me try to say that again. My back pump, and that is what I'm trying to avoid because that was always a big problem for me. And as of late, almost almost a year now, I've really been able to avoid that. I'd say at least 9 times out of 10 for my back workouts. Actually, probably more than that. Um, so I've been on really good ground as of late for my back training. But today, I think it's these Versa grips too, and my forearms, man, they're still kind of blasted. So I'm gonna keep trying these, but I don't know, man. I don't like my forearms feeling like this. And again, that was always a problem for me when I would do my back training, my forearms, and my grip would just want to take over for a lot of the reps and stuff. Hence why my forearms are, with no direct forearm training, they're pretty big. So but yeah, I got 4 plates on each side. Normally for me, that's honestly just not that much weight here. But considering how I feel and where I'm at in the workout, it's gonna feel different. Let's just say that it's gonna feel heavier. So let's uh let's do a set. I'm probably not gonna do. Did I got this right? Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do 4 sets like I did on lat pull downs. We'll keep this at three, um, with a drop set and see what I get. I think that'll be enough, and then we'll move on to something else. This is more or less just. I hate saying it like this because it makes it sound like I'm not bringing the intensity, But this is more or less just I did my 4 heavy sets on lat pull downs. This is more or less just good controlled reps to get more volume in, and more isolation on my back. But I'm not trying to, you know, bring the house down, if you will. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say there. I'm not trying to hit any PRs or anything at this point. It's just good, solid work with good intensity. That's the main thing. If you make a set intense, now if you're going over, I would say probably 30 reps, you're starting to get into more cardiovascular training. But a good, let's just keep it at 8. I mean, I do believe a little bit lower than that, you're still getting some good hypertrophy. But let's keep it at 8. A good, a good 8 reps all the way up to probably 25, in my opinion, is with good intensity. This is what I'm trying to preface here. That rep range with good intensity, you're gonna see results. That's the main thing. It's the intensity. So, I mean, would I like to go heavier? Yeah, but as long as I bring the intensity, I'm gonna see results here. So that's strange. In a weird way, I think I liked these Versa grips more on this than I did on the lat pull downs. Or maybe I'm just getting a little more comfortable. But that did that. Well, damn, that did feel better. So that's cool. Good. So I mean, honestly, I've been saying this a lot lately, which is kind of cool. I mean, it means I'm getting bigger and stronger, most likely. That felt light. Of course, granted, the last 3-ish reps, I was cheating. I was really starting to cheat, but I did 12 or 13 clean. So I might throw 25 on. We might push the boundaries a little bit today, but still, that's not crazy weight for here. Let's do that. Throw 25 on and see what I can do. What's worse going to happen? I'll take it back off. Now we're talking. Hey, this is why it's important to give something a really fair chance. Because these feel really good on these plate loaded rows. That is what I was looking for, you know? A little heavier, I know that. Um, the reps weren't as clean, but I was still controlling it and it wasn't overwhelming. And I did 12. Granted, a couple cheat reps in there. That's perfect for me. So let's do one more. I think I got enough left in me for one more exercise, three or so sets, and I think that'll probably be it. So let's just do that. All right, that's kind of a tragic irony here because the Smith machine just got freed up, which is what I was gonna do to finish. I was gonna do some bent over rows on it, but I've already warmed up here. I've already kind of committed. So the good thing is, this is one of the good things about training, one body part twice a week at least. Um, I'm not gonna do them today, but Tuesday I'll be sure to try to get some bent over rows in. So it's not the end of the world here. Like I said, I've already warmed up here. I'm not gonna completely switch again and go. Not that I needed to warm up. I don't. It's not really warming up. It's just getting a feel for the new exercise that I'm coming to. Um, Now normally I won't use any grip assistance on this because I can't really go heavy enough on this machine. But since I got these new Versa grips and I kind of warmed up to them on the plate loaded row, I figured, you know what, let's try them here. And they are quicker. I figured out how to get them on a little quicker than my old school deadlifting straps. So figured why not? Who knows? Maybe I can go up a little heavier even. Now that I'm gonna use some grip assistance here. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say now. But I was gonna do bent over rows. Oh, that's kind of a pain in the ass. I was gonna do. I'll get it on one way or another. I was gonna do bent over rows And in my opinion, though, I've traded out for something better because this is probably, I know I've said it a lot, but this is my favorite back exercise anymore. So, all right. Okay, now I'm ready. Three good sets of the drop set here. Okay, that is crazy how much, taking my grip limitations out, how much that helped. I mean, I did. Like, I had that familiar feeling of, when I don't use these, I was getting to that place where I was like, okay, I think I'm almost done, trying to squeeze out a couple more. And then I just kept going. When I, when I thought I only had a couple more, I did probably 6 or 7 more, and I think I could have done even more. So I'm gonna throw in some more weight wherever I can. Maybe maybe even a couple more fives, and see what that does. All right, that didn't quite work out like I completely planned. Lost one of them before I even did a rep. So let's see if I can. Let's just set over here. They gotta be better. All right, see if I can do one more without losing any plates, and then throw in. You know what? I might do 2 more normal sets here, just because I lost that one. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Uh, okay. Yeah, let's do one more. That's feeling. I gotta take these off a second though. That's feeling really, really good. Like surprisingly good. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more like that. Ah, shit. Man, that was fucking good. Almost too good, if there's such a thing. I feel, how do I say it? I feel totally beat down and defeated, but also feel super accomplished. In my opinion, that is the best feeling you can get at the end of a workout. I suppose. Got nothing else to add to that. I'm thinking, what? Okay, let me say it like this. What started out as me being unsure about the versa grips, although I knew for a fact after just one set I did like them better than the Jim Reaper hooks that I had. But I wasn't sure if they were on the level of, or at least just my personal preference of the old school, deadlift kind of style straps. Um, so it started as being unsure, but acknowledging, maybe it's me, actually get comfortable with it. Um, ended with me really liking them. Now maybe just the lat pull downs specifically, maybe I'll keep using my old school straps. Maybe not. I'll try the Versa grips again, but I'm thinking that weight because it's straight up and down on the let pull down. All the other ones were kind of horizontal or you know a mix. So those were easier to the gravity wasn't fighting me as much, pulling and straining on the Versa grips. If that makes sense. Because I mean, little one-on-one lesson here on gravity. It pulls straight down, so when you're pulling horizontally, it's not as much of a factor. Um, but yeah, so I ended up really liking them, at least on the last two exercises that I did. So, but hey, I'll take it, man. I will take that for sure. So, I mean, in terms of the workout, I think it's checked all the boxes, at least for a back workout for me. Um, got a great pump. My forearms got really pumped, kind of, but my back is still pumped too, so I can't complain that much. Now, if it was all just strictly a forearm pump and it took away from my my back, then we'd have a problem. But in terms of what I feel, it didn't at all. Like my back is actually already kind of sore. So yeah, man, let's do some posing. I'll hit a few other poses, but I'm gonna try to keep this strictly just back. Maybe a little bit of bicep, just because biceps a big secondary muscle for back training. So, but anyways, it's I always like to do a few with my shirt on when I do back posing. I don't know why, but I just do. So let's do that. That almost wore me out as much as the whole workout. I will say it's not a good sign. First training day of the new week, and I already just feel sore, like really sore. So now a really good night of sleep can fix that, but you know I got to do it, and that's easier said than done. It's been hard for me to sleep lately, so that's it. Great workout, great way to start, and keep the momentum. Try to keep the momentum going with a great chest day tomorrow. Already looking forward to it. So that's it, man. I'm done. Gonna enjoy the rest of my Sunday.